It's so arid. So thirsty, but it's room temperature. This is not refreshing.
Did you say room temperature?
Who are you?
Well, I'm a representative of the Paki-Zeer company. I can get that Mountain Dew way below room temp for you, my man.
You have a refrigerator?
Well, you don't exactly plug it in, but
What?
you need the power of evaporative cooling, my friend. Why don't you put that Mountain Dew right in here?
I don't know.
It works. It's worked in Nigeria and Iran before, so why not Pakistan?
You do sell a hard bargain.
I'd like to think I do. Greetings. I come today to bring to you the absolutely most revolutionary product in the history of mankind, the Paki-Zeer. So I guess I better first start by talking about it. My God, it's gone! Just like anything could be in that federally administrated tribal areas. So I guess since I can't talk about the product, I should talk a little bit about where we're going to sell it. And that is the tribal areas of Pakistan. Now, for those of you who don't know, the FATA is administered by the government. It's basically the northwest area of Pakistan, which is a country west of India in the South Asian area. All right, now that we've talked a little bit about the area, we're going to try to explain to you the product. Now, if only I could find this darn thing. It's probably down here.
This is where I left it. Jeez. Well, anyway, as you can see, our Paki-Zeer is 2 clay pots. It's 1 pot inside another pot, and it's surrounded by sand. And so what you do is you pour water around the side. I mean, I wish I had some water. What do you know? So yeah, you wet the sand. You put some water in and around. Make sure that the sand is wet. And then what happens is you get a damp cloth and you put it over the top. And you put your contents, the things that you want to be refrigerated, inside the middle pot. So what happens is as the sun evaporates the water on the side, it draws heat out of the inner pot and thus cools your food. And that's pretty much how the Paki-Zeer works.
Now, in order to explain to you a little bit about the area that we're going to market our product to, we've obviously put a map on my shirt, as you can tell. So this is the area where the federally administrated tribal areas are, and also where the Northwest Frontier Province is, and that's where we're going to try to market our product. Now, geographically, it's very mountainous. There are a couple of lush river valleys, but in general, it's pretty arid. So getting water can be troublesome sometimes. As far as the climate goes, there are monsoons that come in every year. But in general, it's pretty hot, and therefore the need for evaporative cooling and refrigeration is very high. Now, as far as the government's concerned, there isn't a whole lot of regulation, so to speak. The tribes themselves mainly govern themselves. The Maliks are tribal leaders, and as you can see, they reside around here also. The region is generally pretty unstable. For those of you who don't know, the Taliban seem to come in from Afghanistan over here and land right on the FATA, and they have been very troublesome, I'm not going to lie. And as far as livelihood goes, they have some mining in the salt regions, but that's not really in the tribal areas, as you can tell. But they mainly just use subsistence farming and agriculture, so there's a need for refrigeration, and we're hoping that the Paki-Zeer will give it to them.
And this is the Paki-Zeer. I wonder who would buy this.
Well, we think that the typical Paki-Zeer consumer would be someone like this fellow. Oh, hello. As you can see, he lives in a semi-arid climate with little or no access to electricity. And what he's really looking for is some kind of refrigeration or food preservation technology that can adapt to his life. Now, in the federally administrated tribal areas, the Northwestern Frontier Province, these 2 areas, there's approximately 443,000 households. Now, in central Iran, which is somewhere over there, where is it over there? I can't remember. Oh, there it is. I'm silly.
Oh.
Anyways, over there, in the past couple of years, they've had over 9 million Zeers sold just in central Iran. They have a population of about 70 million. So we estimate that we could sell it to approximately 20% of all the rural households. Netting a profit of $4.4 million over 10 years, which could be yours or ours, depending on who owns the business, I guess, or theirs.
So now that you know about the product, you're probably wondering, how can I actually start a business in your area that's probably not the most ideal setting for a startup business? Well, we have a location for you. We recommend actually starting the business in the city of Peshawar, which is located in the northwestern frontier province rather than FATA. This gives you a neutral trading ground so you can trade with all of the tribes, not just one of them. It's safer and more stable, so your business won't get taken over by the Taliban or some other sort of circumstance that would basically just prevent any sort of success. It also has access to the pre-existing trade network that connects to all parts of Pakistan, not just the northwestern frontier province and the FATA. And it already has a pre-existing clay making business, so the technology is already there to immediately start making Zeers. Along with Peshawar, there's also a sustainable development program being implemented in the FATA by the Pakistani government. This means people in the FATA would actually be improving their agricultural business by having more water come into the area, and they're trying to basically just expand agriculture from just basically helping families to actually creating businesses in the area. And they're also doing rural development through this program where roads will be created so people can take their goods to the market, which means they need to keep the food longer to gain more business, which is why we recommend Paki-Zeer will be a success in this area. So with the help of the Paki-Zeer, you could go from something like this to something like
nice lush vegetation everywhere.
Is it ready?
It's ready.
All right.
Why don't you wet your whistle?
It's slightly below room temperature.
Yes, it is.
Remember. Oh, there it is.